like to call to order the Gateway Board of School Directors regular board meeting for Tuesday, March 17, 2020. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
According to Wikipedia, individuality is a state.
Thank you for that, Mr. Bates. Now, roll call, Lonnie.
Mr. Caleri. Mr. Caleri.
Paul Clary, are you here?
Here.
Mrs. Cerrucci.
Here.
Mrs. Delaney.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
Mr. Gallagher, are you there?
Mr. Gottman.
Mr. Gottman, are you there?
I'm here.
Mr. McIntyre.
Here.
Mr. Ritter.
Here.
Mrs. Warning.
Here.
Mr. Williams.
Here.
Okay. I don't think they can hear you, Lonnie, so I'll just repeat what you said. I'd like to start off our meeting with superintendent's report in hopes that that will answer a lot of questions out there from the community.
Thank you, Mrs. Cerrucci. Good evening, everyone. First, I wish to thank everyone, parents, students, staff, for their flexibility and understanding as we navigate this ever-changing landscape of the coronavirus, COVID-19. It is a pandemic, as we see nightly, daily on the news and the media. It is a fluid situation. It is adjusting hourly. It's important as a school district that we maintain constant and accurate communication of the evolving situation, as it is very important to all of us involved. First, the health, safety, and welfare of students and staff remain our number one priority within the Gateway School District. With that said, Gateway is awaiting direction from Governor Wolf's office and the Pennsylvania Department of Education regarding a continuance of instructional services for children. In addition, given the fluid situation of the Commonwealth and the potential for a longer shutdown, Gateway is prepared and, when appropriate, will announce plans based on feasibility and availability of resources for cyber instruction. These unprecedented times have many districts facing challenges at all levels, but we will remain committed to doing what's best for our students and their health. During this time, this 2-week notice of shutdown from Governor Wolf's office, the buildings have been shut down. Only essential personnel will be on hand within the buildings for operation. Students and staff, you will be notified at an appropriate time later this week of the opportunity to retrieve items from the buildings. In addition, our nursing staff will be contacted for a day when medication, if in the nurse's office, will be available for pickup. Again, notification will be sent out. As we move into week 2, please be advised to maintain proper safety protocols. Recently, the Fox Chapel School District notified parents that they had a student who was exposed to a sibling who has a confirmed case of coronavirus. These are changing times and evolving rapidly. So it's important that you maintain all safety notifications as prescribed by the CDC and the governor's office. We thank you for your patience and understanding during this time, and we will continue to update all of our parents, students, and staff with essential communications. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Short. Also, you'll notice that we have space between all of us. We're trying to just get some essential business taken care of, and we hope to continue, if we have to do this next month, to allow for public input in whatever way that we can. And we just ask for your flexibility as we try to work through the technical difficulties that we're faced right now. I would like to report that we did have executive session from 6:48 to 7:22 this evening, and we talked about personnel issues. Next, we did set up a call-in line and an email communication system. So what we're going to do is take comments now, and then if you have questions throughout the meeting, we'll take comments again at the end. So if you're watching this and you haven't put in any emails or phone calls, we will give an opportunity at the end of the meeting to re-examine those. There is a voicemail set up at 412-457-0665. Please leave your name, your address, and your comment or question into the voicemail, and it will be read. Again, the number is 412-457-0665, and there is also a link on our website if you're watching where you can submit an online question. So with that, first I would like to move to those comments from residents on agenda items. What do we have in advance, Dr. Rossi?
We have 6.
Okay.
The first one from Mike Colarusso from Monroeville. After reviewing the receipts, it is my opinion that the money was not well spent. I run a food pantry in Rankin, PA, and while I realize that I do get discounts towards my goods, I can fund my food pantry on $8,000 for an entire year while feeding 200 families a month, each with a week or week and a half's worth of food. It would have been smart to team the backpack program with the food pantry in Monroeville and have a separate account set up with the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank to make money and purchases more transparent. I spoke with Phyllis Johnson at the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank about setting up a backpack program. It was suggested to try to get single-serve foods to meet the individual's needs, and also waters or 100% juice products. This would demonstrate intention to follow the guidelines that the schools have to follow and not just giving the kids high-sugar foods. It would be easier to get the children fresh fruits and vegetables prepared with the food bank as well, since the food goes home Friday with the intention of using it over the weekend. It was suggested by Phyllis that each of the backpacks should include 2 breakfast meals, 2 lunch meals, and 2 snack items, with at least 1 hot and 1 cold meal for each, all remaining days. I also noticed on the receipts that there were shop-through items, and I'm wondering how these are stored, as some require refrigeration. I also want to ask who is packing the backpacks. The reason I ask this is because I use volunteers and part-time workers, and 90% of my volunteers and part-time workers are disabled. I think it would be great to have students from the special needs classroom to pack the backpacks to help them develop life skills. I also think it's great that the Education Association is giving groceries to families in need, but I ask our families being asked for proof of residency. The reason I ask is this, that in trying times we are in, that people from other communities can be taking advantage of these plans. I also want to ask if anything is sent home in backpacks about food shares. These are events that the Greater Pittsburgh Food Bank holds for families to get an additional 35 to 50 pounds of food. I've included a handout in this email stating that the purpose of the food shares, as well as date, times, and locations of the food shares. All in all, I think the backpack program is great, but I believe more thought and research should have been done before thousands of dollars were spent. If those involved with the board have any questions, you can email Mike Colarusso.
Thank you for that. And we're going to share that information on the food share programs on our website if we could do that. Okay.
Next.
I'm getting comments that it's a little hard to hear you, so we're going to move the mic closer to you.
Yeah, I'm getting feedback that there's no picture on TV and that everything's just like static, really bad.
Yeah.
I know, Michael. I know.
It's all right, Michael.
Hopefully the recording
Yeah.
will be fixed.
Do we need to pause? Do you want
Next
to
one's
pause?
from Matt Stakunis.
I need to hear him talk to
Okay.
Good.
Matt Stakunis, Monroeville. Hello, I'm Matt Stakunis, Covington Drive, Monroeville. I'm here tonight to talk about the proposal to create a new rear entrance for the technology, education, and engineering classroom lab at the high school. While I appreciate the overview that Mr. Brown gave to the board last week during the study session, I don't think that enough was said about the overall impact of the tech ed area, as well as to the rear of the building. I've attached a picture that I would like to share and would also encourage all of you to visit the proposal site. We will gladly answer any questions that you have. Last week, it was also stated that the new entrance would only take one of 3 computer labs in the tech ed area that has only 2 teachers. While there are currently 2 teachers, there are 13 different course offerings in the technology and education and engineering curriculum. And each room has been designed to accommodate a specific area of the curriculum. The classroom that will be impacted by the renovation has 9 work tables in the center of the room for student instruction, as well as 19 computers and 2 plate simulators around the perimeter. This room is called a clean room. The clean room is where project instruction and design are created. The room is connected to a prototyping lab where machines and equipment are used to transform theory to actual working projects and products using a hands-on approach. The clean room and prototyping lab are both used together for structural engineering and transportation engineering classes, offered and taught at the high school. If the board decides that they are in favor of moving forward on the new rear entrance project, we ask that the Technology Education Department be involved with the district and architects during the design process to discuss replacement lab plans for the lost construction area. We ask this so students of the Gateway School District can continue to receive the highest level of instruction and facilities. So Matt's to do this.
Very good. No problem with that.
Next one is Philip Cresswell, Monroeville. 3 questions. Will Gateway School students be permitted to access their lockers to retrieve any personal belongings? And will school books at some point during this quarantine? Will the school's teachers be able to answer emails from the students' parents? If the remainder of the school year is canceled due to the coronavirus, will the students be receiving online instruction to complete the school year?
You want to address that now?
I believe I answered the majority of those questions
said
within my opening.
Access lockers, just for reiteration, will be sent out via email to notify when. Online instruction, possibly.
We're currently in a holding pattern, hoping to hear from Governor Wolf and the Pennsylvania Department of Education. We are currently set up for flexible instructional days. However, there is multiple questions across the Commonwealth about the availability of those days to use them in accordance with FAPE.
Are teachers answering emails?
Currently, no.
No. Okay. Next.
Next one is from Janet Beagle, Monroeville. Could we have an explanation on what exactly a bond is and why now is a good time to obtain this? Also, what are the current plans for the use of the money? I understand GMS is in need of repairs. What is the plan for the use of the building since it appears we are no longer selling it? What effect will this have on our taxes? Should we prepare for potential tax increase?
Mr. Schott.
Mr. Schott, do you want to tell Mrs. Beagle what exactly a bond is? He's going to come down to a microphone. Do we have a picture yet? Or you're not sure?
I think you should.
Sure. A bond specifically is a financial vehicle to raise necessary funds, in this instance to fund the capital improvements, primarily the Gateway Middle School, but also some other smaller capital improvements throughout the district that would tie into that. Now is one of the best times in the history of the bond market in terms of issuing bonds to accomplish such a task. Specifically, that task we've been discussing for at least 8 years in terms of moving forward with that. So that's our primary means in terms of being able to, in terms of a timing standpoint, we're ready to move forward. And by chance, the bond market is cooperating in that the bond rates are at historical lows. So basically, we would be able to take advantage of that opportunity to issue those bonds. And in terms of being historical low markets, what that means is that we save on our debt service payments that we make over 21 years in this particular circumstance. So again, each fiscal year, we're making principal and interest payments. They are substantially lower than they would be if the bond market was a little bit higher. As far as a tax increase, yes, a tax increase will be necessary in order to pay for the additional debt service requirements.
And right now we are looking at
that tax increase taking effect,
year
I'm assuming next year.
July 1st.
Mm-hmm.
tax increase next year. I think she asked what it was going for, and she asked about Gateway Middle School. The bond issue is a loan to
finance the upgrades for the Gateway Middle School. So
Correct.
she had said since it's not on the market, the plan B is to renovate the building. So this is how we would finance that. And when we talked about the bond last time, interest rates were about 2%. They're zero now, aren't they?
Well, that's the Federal Reserve, is slightly different. Actually, right now, given the volatility, start of the week, the bond market's a little upside down, so to speak. Just to give you a few ideas, the TCED is not entertaining any approvals on any bonds through the end of this month. As of Monday, talking to Chris Shelby with Piper Sandler, all deals were pulled from the marketplace. It's the expectation that it will settle back down to where it was last week, whenever those representatives from Piper Sandler were in and made the presentation for that. However, at this particular point in time, we're still 3 to 4 weeks from even being prepared to actually enter the bond market. So our expectation would be to enable us, upon approval of the resolution, myself and to work with Piper Sandler to get our official statement together, to coordinate all those various updates to go into that, to schedule an additional update with Moody's Financial Investors, and we're for anticipation of a rating from that. There is a cost for that, definitely. But again, even at that particular point in time down the road, we would have to monitor the market very closely, similar to what we did with the refinancing, and make sure that the market conditions are correct and about where we wanted them to be in order to take advantage of the market. So, again, there's still a lot of unknowns moving forward, but again, we are still in unprecedented times with the bond market as well as the rest of the financial markets.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Schott.
Thank you.
Who's next? Dr.
Ken
Rossi?
Mayhew, Monroeville. Thank you. Board members hardly get enough praise for the obstacles and challenges you navigate weekly. Over the past few days, as we strap in and figure out our new normal, work to applaud every communication, every volunteer effort, and every ounce of extra energy you as individuals and the group have poured into the community. Politics and opinions aside, I'm proud my children attend Gateway. I'm proud that their interests are being put first. Within these crazy times, be safe out there.
Very nice.
Thank you. I think we lost audio on the TV. If they don't have audio, should we pause for a couple minutes?
They had audio, then the voice went out.
Again, this will all be, it's all being recorded. I'm assuming the recording will be cleaner than the current broadcast.
Okay, they can't hear you anyway.
Well, they will on the recording.
On the recording.
Let's just pause for a minute and see if we can get our technology issue resolved.
I think that's a good idea.
Picture on, lost voice.
Yeah, I'm getting the same text.
The audio is good on YouTube. Sound back, no video.
And on the good side, I don't hear any more scratching on our end.
That's good.
Yeah, very clear.
Turning down the microphones worked, or just losing the video picture.
Maybe, I don't know. It just happened.
Okay, they're both back on. We're good. Continue, Dr. Rossi.
This was Rabbi Barbara Simons, Monroeville. Thank you for all you are doing to provide food for our students in need. My question is, are you tracking how many students who regularly receive this food are not receiving it? My concern is that families cannot get to the distribution points. And if that is the case, what is the plan moving forward, and can community members assist?
Very good questions. Do you want to answer that? We're kind of working through those issues right now. We don't have
Yes,
firm answers.
that is correct. We are working through this. We did work diligently over the weekend to prepare distribution sites, satellite sites for our food for our students. We currently have 4 sites. We are looking to expand those. However, at this point in time, we are not advocating as a district the door-to-door service. There is a potential down the road, if this continues, that we may seek volunteers from the community to assist. However, at this point, we're going to maintain what we have under the current operations.
Okay, thank you. Is there one more? That's it?
Can I just add to that, just being it's on topic?
Yes, sir.
I spent some time with the food service department over the last couple of days. And I just want to thank everybody, from the top on down, Bonnie, all the ladies I got to work with the other day. I had so much fun. I'm actually going to go back tomorrow for a couple hours and bother them. But they're doing an amazing job adapting, and it was like watching a well-oiled machine. Just like an assembly line, getting all this food together. You could just tell how much all these folks really care and want to get all their kids fed.
Do they need more volunteers?
As Dr. Schwartz said, right now we're pretty well staffed. As we try to expand the number of locations where we're distributing food, if we are able to, we may be at that point looking for volunteers.
But I echo exactly what Mr. McIntyre had referenced. Even on Sunday with my communications to Food Nutrition Department, Mr. Lorenzo, and I want to thank Mr. Brown as well, because his department has been very instrumental in this as well. But the overall effort of our group has been incredible. The staff coming in, assisting. I've been on a phone call, email with Bonnie Boris, the supervisor, at least 3 or 4 times daily, and I want to thank her and her team for everything that she has done, and it's helping students.
Agree. Okay, let's move on to the regular agenda, Section A. Minutes of previously held meetings. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
I have a motion and a second by Scotty. Motion by Rick McIntyre, second by Scotty Williams. Is there any questions?
Is there any reason why we couldn't do an acclamation? In other words, if someone has an objection, we just state a no, but otherwise we just assume yes.
All in favor?
Yeah.
I think we can do an all in favor vote on this, yes?
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Opposed? That's not gonna work.
That's fine.
Opposed, same sign.
The echoes.
There's no opposition. Motion passes. Section B, bills and financial reports. I'm gonna turn it over to you, Mr. Schott.
Thank you, Mrs. Ritchie. Section B, resolved that the Gateway Board of School Directors approve sections B1, list of bills, B2, monthly financial statements, and B3, budget transfers, as listed in Section B, at the Tuesday, March 17, 2020, regular board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Bruce LeBron.
Motion by Mr. Williams, second by Rick and Mr. Gottman. Any questions or comments for Mr. Schott?
I didn't hear the whole thing. What is this?
Motion for approving our Section B financial reports, list of bills, financial statements, and budget transfers.
Thank you.
Any questions from those on the phone?
No.
None. No.
Any questions from those present? Let me just do a roll call so it's easier.
Mrs. Cerucci.
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney.
Aye.
Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Gottman.
Aye.
Mr. McIntyre.
Aye.
Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Mrs. Warning. Aye. Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Clary.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. There's nothing in Section C, so Section D, personnel agenda. Mrs. Crump, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you, Mr. Ritchie. Resolved that the Gateway Board of School Directors accept and approve the personnel agenda items 1 through 7 as listed in Section D for the regular board meeting of Tuesday, March 17th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. McIntyre, second by Mr. Williams. Are there any questions on the personnel agenda? Whoever is on the phone, please mute your phone. Questions from those present? Questions from those on the phone on personnel?
None.
No.
No.
Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Delaney.
Aye.
Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Gottman.
Aye.
Mr. McIntyre.
Aye.
Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Mrs. Warning. Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Clary.
Aye.
Mrs. Cerucci.
Aye. Section E, conferences. Is that you, Dr. Rossi, or Dr. Chakey?
Thanks, Mr. Ritchie.
resolved that the Gateway Board of School Directors approves and authorizes the following conferences and conventions as listed in section E at the regular board meeting of Tuesday, March 17th, 2020.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to approve by Mr. Williams, second by Brian Gallman. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Gottman.
Aye.
Mr. McIntyre.
Aye.
Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Mrs. Warning. Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Caleri.
Aye.
Mrs. Cerucci.
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney.
Aye.
Section F is administrative resolutions. Who's taking that?
Shut.
Mr. Schott's going to come to the microphone.
Section F, resolved that the Gateway Board of School Directors approves and authorizes the appropriate the following items 1 through 22 as listed in section F, administrative report at the regular board meeting of Tuesday, March 17th, 2020.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Williams, second by Mrs. Delaney. Other questions or comments on section F? From anyone present? Mrs. Delaney?
This is something we were talking about, extending the time for the display.
Oh, for the display? Yeah.
Yes,
Good question.
because school is closed, it's not available for the public to view those items on display. We would like to extend that.
And we can do that. Typically, materials are available at central office to be viewed. We have a display. However, due to the schools being closed, we can extend that, I believe, another 30 days for viewing.
What about the library? They usually over there too?
Is the library closed?
Yeah, it is closed. So we will extend it for 30 days.
So we'll make it a 60-day.
Yes.
And just for technical clarification, 2 of these items were added after the study session. So those would require a supermajority to pass, correct?
No.
No, because they're administrative resolutions.
Administrative.
That only counts for board resolutions.
No, it does not. That was Mr. Gottman added, that's policy now.
Mr.
Yeah, I
Gallman?
believe that doesn't, that should apply to both board resolutions and the administrative resolutions for anything over $100 of spending.
It's not being brought from the floor tonight, or...
The wording is actually after the study session. It was presented in one meeting and then.
Deactivated.
It's not by a board member.
We'll just continue with
One is board members.
All right, I think we'll get the vote anyway, so
Yeah,
let's
that's,
not,
I
let's take
realize, I
that
don't think we're
discussion
gonna have
out.
any voted against, but in the event that we did, we would have to separate.
All right, let's move on. Is there any questions on any of the other items on section F? Mr. Gallagher, Mr. Clary, or Mr. Gottman?
No.
No. No question.
Will that extend the policies as well, a 30-day policy?
Yes.
Yes, anything on 30 display, we're going to move to 60-day display.
No.
Policies are on the line.
They are online, that's what I was asking.
I have a question on number 8. It's on 1, we're taking out 40 million. That's for the renovation, correct?
Yes?
The amount is just the maximum amount, but that would be part of it.
Do we have a finalized number as far as what renovations may cost in the ballpark? So we're going to take out 40 million. I know it's going to pass, but I'm just asking a question. We're taking out 40 million, not knowing what we're using it for.
It's not the full 40 million. It's actually probably closer to about 30 million in coupons and interest, with the net amount being 35 million.
That's the not to exceed.
Yeah.
That is correct. That's the issue.
You haven't bid, we haven't bid the work.
We have not bid that. We have some rough estimates, I think it's safe to say, and some options.
We are definitely within the parameters of the bond for the renovation, absolutely.
Is this within the parameters of what your professionals have told you, like the architect and et cetera? Have you gotten some sort of preliminary estimate from them saying this is what we expect it to be?
Yes.
That's what we've been working with the last several months.
And there was some wording maybe about what you said that might alarm some people. We don't have a finalized number until all of this the dust is settled and we get the bid and approve it. But we do know what this money is going to be spent on.
Correct.
We are closing Mosside Middle, we are renovating and adding to Gateway Middle.
Correct.
To accommodate all 4 grades from the 2 buildings.
Correct.
Okay, well, I know, just for the public's sake, we do know where the money's going. We do not know the exact dollar amount as of yet. We do have an estimate, and this administration, and I've watched them vigorously and relentlessly chop away at different things on the estimate, and they've reduced the number from the original significantly. And I anticipate that they will continue to do so.
We were prepared at a Buildings and Grounds meeting, which was scheduled for Thursday of this week. It has been canceled, to really review with the public and the board preliminary drawings that reflected the cost to this date. So yes, we are still in the schematic phase. We've been working with the architects of Axis. We have met collectively weekly, not only with board members, but Mr. Brown's office, Mr. Telly, to really reduce the cost, put into the parameters of this bond.
Is there
Would it
any,
be possible to still, I know we're not going to do the grounds meeting, but we still maybe make that, the drawings and whatever, slides that we're going to make available, present at the meeting, we make that available online for viewing?
Perhaps at a later date.
Understood.
We could do that. And I'm not saying like within a month, but sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
is there anything Mr. Brown wants to add? Or you don't have to, just giving you opportunity.
No.
Okay.
Dr. Short covered it.
All right. Anything any other of the Buildings and Grounds committees want to add to that? Okay. All right, any other questions on section G? Section F? I'm getting ahead.
Roll call.
Yeah, roll call.
Mr.
So, hey, real quick, is this roll call are we voting on that 40 million now?
Yes.
That's included within section F, all of the items in section F.
Yeah, we're going to roll call everything unless there's a motion to itemize something out.
Motion to itemize 40 million.
Second.
Yeah, that was Mr. Clary. Second by Mr. Williams.
Roll call.
You want to do that one first?
So this is both just
Everything except,
this is, we're voting on everything except the bond.
Yes.
Item.
Okay, so the motion is to vote on the entire section F with the exception of number 8.
Gotcha, okay. So this is the roll call with you now.
Yes.
Mr. Gottman.
Aye.
Mr. McIntyre.
Aye.
Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Mrs. Warning.
I took all but 9 and 10.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Clary.
Aye.
Mrs. Cerucci.
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney.
Aye.
Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Okay, now I'd like a motion to approve number 8 in section F.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any additional discussion on number 8? Mr. Gallagher? Mr. Clary, Mr. Gottman, you have any comments on number 8 before we vote?
No. No.
I'll put on a question.
Go ahead.
So, when they sold those property, do we get anything besides Scott living in a house with taxpayer dollars?
I didn't understand. I didn't.
When we, did you say when we sell the property?
No, when the tripod sells. It looks like it said they want to do.
This isn't over it.
Yeah, no, we're talking about the bond issue, the $40 million bond issue.
Okay, you said number 8, that's the tripod.
No, it's
No, number 9 is the tripod.
I'm looking at my, even though it's a new agenda, because mine has 8 as a tripod.
That's very possible.
Yeah,
Mine has the updated one.
Yeah, we got the updated one.
very sorry, Mr.
Okay, so
Baumann.
all right, so nine's the $40 million bond.
Number 8 is the $40 million bond. Yeah, David.
Okay, yeah, then I don't have any questions on that.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, Bonnie.
Okay. Mr. McIntyre?
Aye.
Mr. Ritter?
Aye.
Mrs. Warning?
Aye.
Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr. Clary?
No.
Mrs. Cerucci?
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney?
Aye.
Mr. Gallagher?
No.
Mr. Gottman?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. All right, now we're moving on to section G. You want to do yours first, Mr.
I believe
McIntyre?
so. Thank you, Mrs. Cerucci. I'd like to make a motion for those hourly employees that do not have the opportunity to work during this emergency period. I would like to make a motion to pay 2 weeks full pay for all, said hourly employees.
Hey, Rick, hold on a second.
Yeah.
We have to make a motion to put this on
Actually,
the
yeah,
agenda?
we have to vote, yeah. We have to, I make a motion to put this on the agenda to vote for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
Second.
Should I read it now and then read it again when we vote on it?
We have to vote on that.
You have to vote
We have
to
to
put it
vote
on
to
the
put it
agenda.
on, so should I read it first?
First comments from the audience.
It seems nonsensical,
Absolutely. I didn't write the rules.
right?
That's why we have one lawyer.
So to put something on the agenda and decide whether to put it on the agenda or not, and not be told what it is. So I think it would be proper to
We've
say
never
what
done
it
that
is.
way before, we've always read it, and then.
Just read it. All right, just read it.
So for those, and I apologize, I'm reading somebody else's handwriting, so I may struggle through some of this. But for those hourly employees that do not have the opportunity currently to work during the emergency shutdown period of 2 weeks, I move that we pay a full 2 weeks' pay for all said hourly employees. At that time, which would be the 30th, all said employees would then be eligible for unemployment compensation in accordance with the recommendations from the state.
Rick, I just want to be through.
He said, are you through? Is that all of it?
Yeah, basically.
Okay, I just want to add one tiny thing, that are not called back by the administration, because that's up to us. I want to make sure it's clear. We'll decide who comes back and who doesn't.
Right, I think that maybe that's covered with the phrase, for those hourly employees that do not have the opportunity to work. Obviously, if we do decide to call them back, they would
They have the opportunity.
With that discussion, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a
And
motion to,
any hourly employee that is impacted by this will be informed by the administration, and how to proceed and how this is going to go.
and you would like to add that to the agenda this evening?
Correct.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion before we vote to add to the agenda? No. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? None. Okay, so it's now on the agenda. Now I need a motion to approve.
I make the motion.
Are there any comments from the audience first?
I want to get our motion and our second, and then we'll do comments. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, now I'll open it up for comments.
Yeah, now I think it might be good to delay this for about 5 minutes so that the folks at home could send a voicemail or a text message in. So could we just jump to the rest of the agenda?
I think that if there's any discussion on this, I think we can have that while we're waiting.
Is there any
Question.
discussion amongst,
I think maybe
Board
just
members.
for clarification's sake, do we want to detail like the list of the
No.
departments, anything?
No.
That's already handled by administration.
I think we should let HR handle that.
Okay.
I don't want to say something wrong, because we're not HR. Are there any other questions or comments while we're waiting for public input? Is there any public input? Nothing yet? Mr. Gallagher, do you have any input?
No.
Mr. Clary?
No.
Mr. Gottman?
No.
Any comments? Dr. Rossi? Okay. Are you comfortable if I proceed yet, sir?
Did we get any calls or text messages or anything from the public yet?
I have none.
Very good. Let's proceed.
Okay. Do you want to read it one more time? Do you think you have it clear?
Yes. The motion is made for those hourly employees that do not have the opportunity to work during this emergency shutdown period of 2 weeks, that for those 2 weeks, the district will be giving them full pay. At that time, they will qualify and be directed to apply for unemployment. And also at that time, well, I guess that's a comment more than it is a resolution, but basically at that time, they would be qualifying for unemployment, which would be, I believe, the 30th of this month.
Okay. Are you ready with all that, Bonnie?
I'm gonna make a copy of that.
Yeah, we're gonna have that.
Let's do roll call on this, please.
Mr. Ritter.
Aye.
Mrs. Warning.
Aye.
Mr. Williams.
Aye.
Mr. Clary.
Aye.
Mrs. Cerucci.
Aye.
Mrs. Delaney.
Aye.
Mr. Gallagher.
Aye.
Mr. Gottman.
Aye.
Mr. McIntyre.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right. The second motion is approval of board member request, Mrs. Warning, for reimbursement of the backpack program in the amount of $8,671.27. Sorry, I need my glasses. Is there a motion? Is there a motion for sake of discussion? You want to make a motion? I'll second it for sake of discussion. Okay, motion fails.
Can I just make one comment, Mr. Shaw, if you could get me a letter showing a donation, please, so I can write off taxes as soon as possible. Thank you.
All right, now we're in section 11, which is comments from residents on non-agenda or agenda items. Is there anything new that came in?
The only one was with the technical difficulty, this what Dr. Short said, if you will repeat it. I don't know what part of it.
I got a text about that. I think it's your opening comments.
Why not
At the
repeat
beginning
it?
of the meeting.
Well, at this point, I will issue a letter summarizing everything tomorrow. If I need to, I will also have Michael available in my office from my desk where I will review everything, provide additional information as well that we will put out on YouTube.
And this meeting will be re-televised and
Yes.
everything. Hopefully, the recording comes out a little cleaner in the beginning.
Yeah, we'll process it.
Broadcast it.
And it's a fluid situation, and as
Extremely
things
fluid,
change,
yes.
check the website.
And I would expect if I can announce this to our constituency out there, that there will be tomorrow a communication from my office updating everyone as to where we're at within the district.
Okay, that's great. So everybody should look forward to Dr. Short's communication for tomorrow. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Ritter, second by Mr. Williams. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.